Hello everyone and welcome. Today we'll be taking a look at a highlight best-of-5 series of professional StarCraft 2. Joining me here for map number 1, the map is Hellscape, a very unfamiliar land and territory. Hopefully not to this blue Zerg though. It is SHIN. And the opponent, the Protoss, the red probes warping into the bottom left corner, it is herO. herO versus SHIN. Yes, a PvZ to start off the day, everyone. Check in with the Overlord action cam. Gonna try not to pay too much attention to the map, given that this is not one of the ones that made it into the current ladder map pool, which, of course, check out that video, check out that information. Put it up somewhere, I'm sure. How will they both handle this type of map, though, this play? I love this spawning pool placement. To block the access to behind the mineral line, great for warding off the prolific amount of Reapers that we're going to see in this matchup, yes. I suppose it's good for other things, not Reaper shaped. You know, Adept shades would probably be the more relevant choice, more relevant thing to try to ward off the probe. Now, herO. This is the first probe going out. Usually, we see Protoss send that probe out very quickly, try to get even a potential hatch block out to prevent the Zerg from doing perhaps what they want to be doing. Not the case this time, though. This probe came with minerals, too. Like, wasn't even concerned. herO wasn't even interested in trying to take the minerals from the Zerg at this point. So, I'm a little curious, then, what is herO cooking up? Because that screams to me that there's something herO is planning to do, that herO needed that probe on his side of the map, on resource duty for X amount of time. herO's got to have something he's working on, something he's cooking up. We see a Stargate, which makes me think absolutely nothing out of the ordinary. So I look forward to being surprised. I look forward to being impressed, perhaps. The Stalker checking around, looking for things. Overlords, perhaps. Scouting Zerglings, or perhaps herO's just scouting the map. Like, oh, I've never played here either. This is a kind of neat place, neat territory. We should probably actually know what's going on over here. A fair decision. The Overlord sitting on top of the pillar. Do we have the Stargate rallied? No. Actually not. Stargate is rallied to go across. It is an Oracle. Will the follow-up be? Wait for it. Moracles? Yes, it will, and a quick energy overcharge, too. Really give the first Oracle a leg up as it heads out onto the map. Now, thoroughly amped up and ready to deliver a stasis ward, or perhaps just a rather intrusive beatdown to some drones here. Speaking of problematic decisions, the third Nexus is quickly canceled. SHIN delivers a punch with quite a few Zerglings. Just a little bit of a run-by, a little bit of harassment going on. SHIN decided to send out some forces, and perhaps make a few more Zerglings than they initially wanted to. Not for defensive reasoning, though. And this forced the Oracle back, so now herO is not on the Zerg side of the map. I'd say this is a good thing for any Zerg involved. Anytime you can have herO not on your side of the map, I would call that a win. Thankfully, for me, I never have to play against herO, so herO's never on my side of the map. That's a big relief, big weight off the shoulders, right? Now, what has SHIN been doing behind this, though? What's the decision? Why send these Zerglings across? Why try to buy yourself a bit of time here? Well, the decision, I would say so far, nothing seems to be too apparent. We've got an evolution chamber coming up. Snipes one of the Oracles. That's helpful. This Oracle's got 6 kills on it. Mostly just Zerglings, though. Entirely just Zerglings. Actually, the Adept's not going to complete the Shade. No, these are just normal adepts, too. There's no glaives. No glaives involved, no upgrades for this, which means herO, I think, is just trying to keep SHIN on SHIN's side of the map at this point. The adept shades are something you want to not ignore, because then they could kill off drones, but you also don't need to get so committed to trying to shut them down that you send your forces off of creep. We see a lair at long last. 5-minute lair. Bane Nest is the choice for the Zerg. An intriguing choice, but a choice nonetheless. Behind this, herO doing the very herO decision of adding on Blinkstalkers to said oracles. Now, which herO would be a fair bit happier having not lost an oracle, but he will pivot as needed. Zerglings. Just doing Zergling things, I suppose. Decent little army group here. They have the possibility of getting fully surrounded, but I don't think it's enough Zerglings. We even have a revelation tag just to pitch out a little emotional trauma, a little bit of damage to the Zergling's mentality and frail psychological being. The lair has completed. It is a Hydra Den, which should not surprise anyone involved with the plays and builds of the day. The stasis is incredible. Oh my gosh, 3 queens plus all the Zerglings. Behind this, we do have a run by, and some Zerglings made their way into the natural. A recall goes out onto just the oracles, which is, it should be enough, I think, to actually clean up the Zerglings. Meanwhile, the stasis wears off. That was a good stasis ward, though. My word. The hero's forces will be beaten back. Does lose a few probes behind this, relatively evening up the worker count, though. Once herO gets all of his forces together, all of the things coming in tandem, they will be enough, I think, to deal with the Zerglings. The next worry, though, this wave, we've got a bunch of Hydralisks. And their upgrades, not quite yet. SHIN actually prioritizing muscular augments for this, wanting to give him a bit more movement speed, especially off of creep there. Bane speed, likewise. Might be a little slow on that one. Another oracle picked off. Revelation goes out. herO wants to keep tabs, keep an eye on these Hydras. SHIN's doing really well with these backstabs, just setting aside a few Zerglings, a few groups. The potential for damage, for backstab, for run by, and we're seeing a lot of blue come together on the minimap. Zerglings and Hydras all grouping up, it would seem. We've got the upgrades finishing up. Muscular augments done, +1 ranged attack, so the Hydras are the real scary force here. Storm is very far off. Stasis ward going up next to the assimilator. There's another one backing up the battery. First is a whiff, second's not bad. Catches all the Zerglings, but as we just mentioned, the Hydras are the real issue here, the real threat. A group of Banelings is caught over on the left side. The Stalkers will have to just kind of weave their way around. There's still plenty of Zerg not in stasis, that I think this is going to be a bit of a tough hold for herO here. Reinforcements I see coming from the mini-map. Zerglings trying to get there. The natural is breached, and our standing defenses are dwindling for the Protoss. Storm completed. There's 2 Templar. Decent Storm connections, but that's going to be it. There's an Archon now. herO looking to deflect the first wave of Hydras, the reinforcements from the left side. That this Archon is an amazing spot to deal with Zerglings. I worry about anything not Zergling shaped, though. It is not going to be enough. herO's actually going to call it. The reinforcements will be too much, and SHIN, the Zerg, will take map number 1. Map number 2 in this series shall be El Dorado here. Once again, familiar territory, thank gosh. The blue Protoss. Did they switch colors? I think so. I think they switched colors. The blue Protoss now. Here in the bottom left, it is herO. Which means we've got the red Zerg over in the bottom right already having to deal with some Protoss shenanigans. It is SHIN. herO rectifying the problem, correcting the error, resolving the issues, yes, sending that probe across. That was the key ingredient, I'm sure. The probe has gone across, has successfully blocked the Natchery location, forcing SHIN to take the third base as the second option. So, we will see what will come of that, I suppose, over the next few minutes, because it could be nothing. It could be that absolutely nothing comes of that. SHIN gets to take the natural as the third. There's just some slightly delayed mining time for, you know, the drones and creep being transferred in between the bases, but it also presents an opportunity, I will say. Look, why do so many Protoss do this? Why is this a thing? Well, one, they can. Protoss players have always thrived on messing other people up, and of course causing shenanigans, causing problematic issues to deal with, sure. But the more logical and probably tactical reason is it opens up an avenue to try to isolate this base, because now SHIN's going to have to devote drones out here to somewhere that is, on paper, you look at, less defensible. The natural has high ground ramp, minerals to block on this side. It is much easier to defend this location than somewhere that is more open ground here. So that presents the opportunity. If herO were to do some type of, you know, focused pressure build, a glaive, I think, attack would be a prime example of this, you know, glaive adept, or something proxy we could look at, you know, proxy gate style attack, forward warp in location, something focused, something pressured, then it gives herO the opportunity to try to kill things off easier, since it is, aforementioned, less defensible. There you go, the logic behind the decision. And that's why we send the probe across, to be as rude as possible, I suppose. Give you some sort of advantage, some sort of opening. Doesn't look like herO is really aiming to do that type of thing, though, because we see, likewise with map number 1, a Stargate has shown itself. However, don't speak too quickly here, Mr. Ghost, okay? Because a couple of adepts just playing, well, fancy the footsies, I suppose. Tag your it with my glaive attack weapon. They work on their way, testing the water, seeing how careful SHIN is playing this. SHIN, I will say, is playing this rather carefully. He's got multiple queens just chilling down here. Would I like to see a handful of Zerglings to help shut down things like this? Sure, absolutely. But with the drones involved, it's actually going to help deal with the Adept rather well. The Oracle also swings in and is thoroughly successful. 9 drones have been killed off. Okay. You guys know I love to proclaim the strength and defense of queens, but they're not doing superbly, okay? Not supremely well so far. 10 drones have been lost, which is bringing us to a total, gosh, I mean, SHIN has made, would have been close to 45, nearly 50 drones at this point. It's a big difference between these numbers that we're seeing, so this is definitely starting to snowball, I think, a bit more towards herO. The damage is adding up, even picking off a queen, getting a creep tumor, so all of these things, little things, sure, individually, but adding up over time, building up to that type of advantage. Spore, at long last, made in this base to help shut down some oracles. Like, you know there's a Stargate coming, okay? herO loves the oracle, loves the blink stalker play. Yeah, I think it's reasonable to say you could go spore crawlers with no scouting information here. I think that's a very reasonable assessment. Not a massive investment, but something that could help to pay off. Because think about it. That oracle swings in and has to deal with the spore crawler. The queens are able to focus on the adept. No, don't. I know it's a bad hatchery. It's a bad jury. Okay. I know it's a problem. You're upset that the drones have been lost, but don't take it out on the hatchery. It's not the hatchery's fault. Imagine how the drone that turned into that hatchery feels now. That drone's been watching its friends and family die, too. Okay. No reason for you to act out like this, Agnes, I'm sure. Gosh. For SHIN, things crumbling. SHIN's falling apart. The queen attacking the own hatchery. Oh my word. Blink is nearly halfway done. The Oracle swing in again. Get another lightning fast batch of drone kills. I see a group of Zerglings gathering in the upper left here. There's the possibility SHIN's going to want to go for a little bit of a run by. herO, though, well, looks like might actually give him the opportunity. This is now amounting to a lot of Zerglings. Oh, this might be a tell. herO sees the couple of Zerglings there. That might be a tell to see, yeah, like, you know, was it really just 2 Zerglings? It's never just 2 Zerglings. Oh, the Blink trying to cut them off. SHIN sees it. The Zerglings should be able to get away, I would think. They can run so far away. No revelation tag, though. herO wanting to save the energy, perhaps. Do they have energy? Oh yeah, they definitely have revelation energy. I guess wanting to save it for either the pulsar beam or stasis wards, perhaps. SHIN taking the bottom base here, opening up that gold mineral wall, and trying to ready another attack. There's a decent amount of defenses here, though. Templar, no storm, but it might be enough to still get some things started here. The Stalkers engage with the forces. SHIN has gone for roaches this time. Decent stasis ward, unfortunately, triggering both of them, though. Oh, the third, too. That's less than ideal, but I mean, herO's Blink Micro is still pretty darn good. How do we handle this? Did we lose all of these Zerglings? Possibly. They could have been, some of them could have been pulled back. I see quite a few injured Zerglings in here. Stalkers pushing slightly forward. Storm is about to complete. No Templar present in this battle, though. It is just the Stalkers and the Oracles against them. Frankly, a lot of Zerg. herO is depending on these stasis wards. Even just the Zerglings is a little bit scary. How many Zerglings is it? 57 Zerglings up against 15 Stalkers. I don't know. It's a lot. Okay, the numbers, the math. I don't feel like doing the math right now, but it's kind of scary. Scary to look at the very least. You get a little nervous, you get a little uncomfortable. You see them get surrounded. Suddenly, the Templar, the rest of the Protoss forces have shown themselves a decent. Storm goes out. SHIN a little wishy-washy getting out of that's going to wind up losing a few Zerglings for that hesitation. Groove Spine completes for the all of 3 Hydralisks I see here. Roaches doing their best to stand as much in a storm as possible. Another solid one goes out on the far right side. Transfuses happening, though. Those are the only Templar. We have lost the Templar. They will be Archons now. Storms are done with, and that is still a lot of Protoss to deal with. SHIN appears to agree with my assessment, and is just going to call it there. Tapping out. The series goes 1-1. Map number 3 in the series shall be Ultra Love here. The Blue Zerg shall occupy the upper right corner. Having a bit of a tough time shutting down all of the Protoss antics in that last one. It is SHIN. Probe. herO. Successful thus far. Will occupy the bottom left. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Panic time. Pull the probes. Start running around in circles. Ambulance noises. Sound the alarms. Proxy hatch. It's actually not that scary, guys. Just pull a few probes. 4. I don't know if I could only pull 4. Personally, I might pull, 5 or 6. But, no. Why are you attacking him? No. I believe chaos works among us, friends. This probe, you, Mr. Timmy. Okay. Why? Timmy, he's always been troubled by that other probe. What can we call the other probe? Augustus. We go with. Okay, so Timmy, he's always been bullied. He's always been troubled by Augustus. The lunches were taken from the fridge, despite them having Timmy's name written on them. Augustus didn't care, okay? Augustus had it out for Timmy ever since Timmy came aboard. And then, it was a perfect opportunity. The alarms were sounded. Timmy was called to the front. Both Timmy and Augustus, they were called on for the defense. Timmy saw an opportunity. All it would take is just a few little lasers, just a few hits, and Timmy's problems would be gone. And then Timmy could go off into the assimilator, never to be remembered, never to be picked on again. Okay, because you don't mess with the workers that are in gas. The story of Timmy's revenge, I suppose. It would appear that his stealth check was an absolute beast of a roll, too. Like, we're talking minimum 18, okay? Because herO is fine with the decision. Alright, Timmy has taken his revenge, gotten rid of that pesky Augustus, and we're just moving on with the day now. I suppose it's actually kind of funny. It's actually even now because SHIN attacked the hatchery in the last round with the queen. Didn't destroy the hatchery, to be fair. A little harder to kill off quickly than a probe. But they're both teetering on the slight instability. Okay. I hope that sets the tone. I hope that's what we're in for this match, okay? This map. Oh, gosh. Alright, so what essentially has happened other than my completely dramatized rendition of herO killing off his own probe? We've got a few adepts. We've made the couple of zealots. Things did go across to the other side of the map. Not a whole lot of damage, though. They really just kind of scarred and scuffed up the pigmentation on the hatchery more than anything else. The queens are present for the defense. The three adepts, sorry. I can count, I just can't speak. There's a big difference. The three adepts moving across here, will they complete the shade? They will not. The Oracle helping out overhead. Third base will be spotted, will be dealt with. Will at least be pressured. Will they complete the shades, though? The Zerglings following handily? No, they do not, and I agree with that decision. Queen, desperately trying. Okay, why didn't we put any creep over here? God, the Oracle picked off a solid grab, solid snag from the Zerg and the Adepts. Just barely making it out of there. Two of them at red, one of them at slightly lighter red. Yes, orange, come at me. Bye, Adepts. Thanks for visiting. Thanks for playing. Alright. Guess we're done with the instant cancel. I don't even think the Zerglings hit it. herO's having a bit of a tough time so far. The Adepts lost the Zealots. Well, they're both manning the gate. Alright. What's better than keeping one Zealot in the wall? Two Zealots. Yes. What's better than two Zealots, you might be asking? Wait for it. It's an Immortal. It's not three Zealots. I'm sorry. Wrong answer. Or a Stalker. I would also accept a Stalker. Two Zealots and a Stalker. Indigos. Ooh, now you've got it. Now you got me. Thank you for that. Perfect. The Overlord will be picked off, which is actually a slight supply block for SHIN, albeit very quickly lifted. Roach Warren coming up at the front. I like the decision. I like the choice. Although I will say the Ling-heavy start in early game for SHIN worked out really well in map number 1. Found plenty of opportunities for backstabs and run-bys. But perhaps that was more the map than the composition, because Ultra Love, not quite as open with some of these bases. I mean, the natural, there's no hoe. Okay. The Zerglings, they could maybe stand here and try to make a Zergling bridge out of each other, but it's just not that feasible. Okay, the physics just aren't quite there yet. Really got to work on the evolution of physics after all. Lair completed, Hydra Den on the way. So we will see perhaps that same type of Roach Hydra blended composition. The Protoss. Did we get Blink? Oh, well, not done yet, but we're working on it. Robo facility finishing up. First choice will be an observer, followed by plenty of gateways. They're both working on their compositions, on their choices. A few Zerglings will make their way to said Robo, will not commit to its destruction though. Instead, checking around, finding nothing. Nada. Bubkiss. Zilch. Okay, nunca. I think is actually never, but I like it. Overlord once again picked off. Queens spotted. Revelation will reveal those roaches. The Stalkers have an opportunity to actually get rid of this building hatchery, I think. Oh, they will get it. They will force that cancel. SHIN not able to keep that going. Some stray Overlords here. Gonna force them away. Decent stasis. Captures some of the forces there. The Oracles move up into the main base. Queen will be the target of their ire, I suppose. Not that kind of ire. Not like we will reclaim our home world kind of ire. No, like I'm really mad at you ire. Okay. I know. Homophones. They're awful. Don't get me started on an English and a grammar rant, okay? Whether you like it or not, weather is cold and hot. Yeah, I know. Alright. That's enough. I need to stop myself. Stalkers, once again, pressuring this base. There's a lot more Zerg standing by now, though. Stasis Ward. First one's not too successful. Second, massive. Very nice. Alright, quite a few Hydras. A gaggle of roaches amidst them will be caught. Creep tumors, now the threat, now the target. Some reinforcements showing up for the Protoss. There's no prism though, is there? No, there's no warp prism. herO has been focusing on some of the more damage-focused armory, robo armored units. Immortal, Colossi. No extended thermal lance. Yeah, that thermal lance is very normal, very standard, but it's all about how you use it. Am I right? I don't know. Probably not. The rocks, the debris, should be probably helping both of them out. I would say rather equally. The Zerg can't easily get us around, but herO also has to walk into quite a choke point. There's no drones here. There's barely enough Zerg army forces here. Is this it? SHIN's trying to make a few more roaches, but I'm not even sure that's going to be enough. Working on... they've got +1. The Disruptor shows up, which is going to easily smack down a handful of roaches with each sneeze and a light gust of wind it makes. Looks like the Colossi was picked off, which means we're really just left with one Disruptor as the splash damage. The Stalkers will do decently well at the boxing. Worry... oh, only connecting with really one Hydra. Not too terrible damage. Some reinforcing Zerglings. These look like panic Zerglings, if you ask me. I think SHIN might be in some hot water. Some slow lots show themselves with +2 attack. They don't even need charge. A victory free of charge, thanks to the slow lots, I suppose. herO is gonna go up now, 2-1 match point. The next map in the series shall be Frostline here. The blue Protoss currently enjoying an advantage, sitting at match point potential game-winning map here. It is herO. And the Zerg standing in their way. Can they get their composition straight, their antics together? Here, the red drones of SHIN. With a Vorazun portrait, like mixed signals. Okay, whose side are you on here? Whose team are you rooting for, SHIN? Did I hear something cancel? Oh, I guess pylon block, I'm guessing. Okay. The probe, of course, as we can surmise and see, successful in its hatch blocky goodness. Third base will be the choice for SHIN. herO. Things are... I ain't got my words together. Things looking relatively normal compared to the past few matches. We won't see any sort of, I would say, development or deviation until the Cybercore's done. And even then, do I really expect herO to, pull out some sort of sudden aggression, sudden move? Things have been working fine the last couple of games. Just sticking to what herO knows, herO loves, Blink Stalkers and Oracles and a bunch of mid-game pressure. We've barely had anything nearly 10 minutes so far this series. Cybercore will complete. Natural Nexus on the way. Third base location hatchery as well already done. Queens on the way. Wow. Can you believe it, guys? We have a Stargate. My gosh. Who could have seen this coming? Drastic measures. Unbelievable decisions. I'm joking. The probe, testing its durability, really working on that extended warranty repair services, testing the waters up against the Zerglings. The Adept will come out, trade off with it. Shade moving out first. Keeping an eye out for Zerglings. Not a whole lot of Zerglings here right now, though. The herO feeling confident, I guess. Just walk up and hit the hatchery. Let them know I'm here. It'll be more fun that way. Oracle, the choice from the Stargate. Again, hopefully a surprise to no one. Things are looking, I will say, absolutely fine. Normal. The Adept caught slightly with the help of some drones. Claws working their way through whatever tattered robes and tassels the Adept may have. But she will escape relatively unscathed, slightly bruised and perhaps a bit frightened, terrified, but that, I suppose, is the price for going into the Zerg hatchery area, the mineral line. Zerglings moving out. I do not think they caught that Oracle, but, well, I stand possibly corrected. SHIN might have been able to glimpse that, or perhaps is just taking my advice and saying, I think I'm just going to make spores with no scouting needed, alright? That's fine. The target switch to the larva costing the drone. Perfect. And then he goes and gets freaking 4 more in another base. 5? Really? Oh my gosh. Alright, 8 kills total on the Oracle. We have a quick Twilight, which I say shouldn't surprise me, actually. Blink has been the standard choice. I don't know why I fixated on it. I was like, ooh, a Twilight. Whatever. The depths here. Oh, I guess it's also not unusual to see the Adepts that herO has made for potential scouting. We're going to sacrifice them again. Oh, that's unusual. Oh. Okay. Now I'm intrigued. I'm on board. We've got extra gates coming up. We've got glaives on the way. The Adepts not going to commit, which I see why. I agree with the choice. You want to try to keep the Adepts alive. You probably also want to make some more while trying to hide them, I suppose. Do we warp them in the main base? No, we could warp them at the third over here. Ah, okay. herO's going for a kill move. I think herO is going to try to decapitate the head of the beast here, metaphorically speaking, of course. The Adepts will come together. Glaives shortly coming up. All right, a mere 30 seconds, I think. The Adepts, this first group will be found, will be captured, and then will slip right out, lather them up in soap and butter. Time to go. This is a lot of Adepts. 17 Adepts are about to show themselves. SHIN, I do not think is ready for this. There's no Roach Warren. It's going to come down to just Zerglings. We don't even have 30 Zerglings. Well, SHIN's gonna know about it now. The Adepts quickly gun down the Queens at the front door. The Zerglings running for their dear life. Nothing is in place to protect the drones. It's over. Quick end to the series. An explosive grand finale in disguise. I thought this was just a map number 4 here. No, I was looking at a finale. herO coming in with the swing and the hit, a critical hit at that, too. An entertaining series, though. If you enjoyed, be sure to let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a great day.